Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to Cutting Up with the Crawfords. I'm Dari Crawford, and today in this episode, we have a special guest, my dad. My A1 since day one, my encourager, my supporter, my cheerleader, all the things. That is what he is to me. And I am so grateful to have him here today. And listen, we're going to talk about father-daughter relationships. So if you are a father, if you are a stepfather, if you are a godfather, a uncle, father figure, whatever, you definitely want to listen to this. And all the daughters as well. All right, y'all, here he is, the man of the hour.
Thanks for the warm and beautiful introduction.
What should everyone call you? Well, I call him dad.
No, she doesn't. She calls me Pop Pop. And my wife says, why does your daughter call you Pop Pop? So she should call me Dad. She
But I
calls me Dad, but she calls me Pop Pop. Around the children, she calls me Pop Pop.
I do have a tendency to call you Pop Pop on a regular
Yeah,
basis.
Derek too.
Yeah. Just because that's what we've been calling you for. Dwayne is 26. He'll be 27 in
Yeah.
October. So almost 27
Yeah,
years we've been calling you Pop Pop.
when Dwayne was born, they changed my name to Pop Pop. I went from Dad to Pop Pop.
Yeah, officially.
Yeah, so I've been Pop Pop for 27 years.
Yeah. Do you like it?
I like being Pop Pop. I
You're
like being Dad.
you're a good Pop Pop though. And a good dad.
That's good.
Yeah.
I try.
You do. All right, y'all. So in this conversation, this episode, we're going to do a little Q&A with each other. So I did give him some questions and he gave me some questions like just before we hit record, and we're going to try to just wing it and see what our answers are. So you're going to start us out.
All right, well, that's good. I like to
Let's
start
see.
things off.
You,
So,
wait,
you,
are you going to tell everybody your name?
oh, my name is Lonnie, or my real name is Alonzo Lee Puller.
Oh, you didn't have to give him the whole name.
Yeah, I mean, that's who I am.
That is. So
And
what do most people call you?
most people call me Lonnie. My wife calls me Alonzo, and everyone else calls me Lonnie. My former pastor calls me Lonzo. And then I have friends call me various names, but Lonnie
Tell,
is
tell
most.
us, you want to talk about the various nicknames you have?
They call me Lonnie Times, Tech. Yeah, that's two of the most familiar names that I have. Some of my friends. We were talking in the car today, and one of my friends called me from California, and he calls me Tech, and Dari's like Tech. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do the guys in our family call you? On the Puller side of the family, what do they call
They
you?
call me Lonnie. I got a couple nephews call me like triple or quadruple Lonnie, Lonnie. And so that makes me laugh. But they call me Lonnie.
It's so funny, y'all, when they say that to him. It's
Yeah, it
hilarious.
makes me laugh every time. Some of my great nephews, we have great relationships.
Lonnie, 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 Lonnie. I'm just gonna stick with Pop Pop. So I'll be calling him Pop Pop through this whole episode. All right, so you're gonna start out. You're asking me a question first.
Okay, and the question I have is, if you could think of one Bible verse that reminds you of me, or one quote that reminds you of me, what would that be?
So, the Bible verse that I came up with is Proverbs 18, verse 24 in ESV. A man of many companions may come to ruin. I'm sorry, let me pause and back up. A man of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. And for me, this verse is something that kind of embodies who you are to me, of how you have stuck with me through all the things, all the phases of Dari. And
All.
all no, seriously, like so many.
Capital ALL.
No, seriously, like all the phases
Yeah.
of me, you stuck with me through it all. And it's meant a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to cry this early.
Yeah, and I've enjoyed it, every minute of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I say through it all, like all the phases, all the messy, all the just I think the quote that Derek used on our first podcast of season 2 is the good, the great, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
And that's what.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many things.
Because it's been all that.
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah. For sure. So definitely Proverbs 18, chapter 18, verse 24 is what I say. All right, so you're officially on a podcast.
I'm on a podcast.
And
I told my daughter, I said, you know what? I'm 68 years old. I'm too old to be on a podcast.
Y'all, doesn't he look good? Like, I feel like that's when someone says, you look good for your age. No, he looks good, period. Do you feel?
Okay, let's move on.
Do you feel 68 though?
No, I don't feel 68.
You have a 45-year-old child.
I thought you were 46. I told somebody.
I'll be 46.
Yeah, I should be 46 because I talked
My
to
birthday's
someone
coming
that said
up.
they were 46. I said, yeah, same age as my daughter.
Yeah, I'll be 46. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Alonzo Butler. His son Derek's 46.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I talked to him yesterday.
All right, now, so again, this is Q&A, and we're going to go back and forth. I'm going to ask you a question next. What's one thing that you always say? Oh no, that's you. Sorry. Wait, what's going on here? Let me back up.
You got to go to Dari's questions today.
I know. I'm going to Dad, to Dari. I know I'm Dari, but I'm like, how am I messing this up? All right. You give me another question. This one's funny.
Okay, give you another one.
Yeah.
It's how about this? What's one thing I always say that cracks you up? She must. So I can't wait to hear this.
No. So every time Pop is ready to get off the phone, he says, "All right, then."
That's a family thing.
So there's no warning whatsoever. It's I guess the warning and the end is all right then.
All right then.
How?
Next word is bye. It's a family thing. My sisters, all of my sisters, I know a couple of them say it. Same thing. So they're talking on the phone. All of a sudden they said, "All right then."
So
it's like
it means bye.
Yeah, it means
I'm getting off the phone.
I'm done talking.
I don't feel like talking to you anymore.
Yeah.
This conversation is over. Yeah. That's how it feels. It feels kind of harsh when you say it sometimes.
Yeah, coming in with doing a thing in the movie, and when they put the thing down, so it's cut.
Cut.
Yeah, it's over. Well, I was about to say something.
Well, I was like in the.
I already got the all right then.
I was mid thought, and he says, "All right then," and I'm like, "Oh dang."
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Save that thought.
But it's hilarious because not only do I know that you do that, Derek knows, the kids know, like, Pop says, all right, then it's like, all right, this conversation's a wrap. Get off the phone. It's click.
Hang up.
I'm like, dang, Dad, I wasn't finished talking.
But I am. So I'm done talking and done listening.
Exactly.
Time to go, yeah.
All right, my question to you. Be honest.
Be honest.
Yes. Who's the better storyteller, you or me?
I am. I'll tell a story, 5-minute story for 25 minutes.
No, seriously.
I go to tell a story. She'll ask me something. I go to explain it. It's like, oh, Dad, I ain't got time for this long story. No,
listen. When he says explain, he means explain.
Yeah, like details.
Every detail. Like it was a cold winter night in 1979 and Dari was born. Like, do you know what time I was born?
And it's usually a funny story. I'll add some humor to the story.
Do you know what time I was born?
It's 2 a.m. So I told her, yeah, one day I said, you were born at 2 a.m. Oh, she asked me something about when was I born. I said,
what time?
Yeah, May 17th. It was 2 a.m. Which I have no idea what it was. But I said, yeah, ask your mother.
I feel like I asked Mom, too, and she was...
Nobody knows exactly. I don't know the exact
Well, the
time.
only reason that I know it was still light outside for Dwayne. I feel like it was in like the 3 p.m. hour. Deja, the only reason that we know that is because you know how you take the hospital pictures? And it has her name and her date of birth and the
And the
time.
time, yeah.
So that's how we know. Deja was born at 7:25 p.m.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, but otherwise, back in those days, they didn't time nothing.
did,
They
did,
said somewhere, sometimes during
on
May the
this
7th.
day
Yes.
she was born.
Within the 24 hours, from 12:01 to
11:59
11:59,
p.m. Yeah.
somewhere. But it was on that day.
I would agree with your answer though. You are a better storyteller than me. And I think Deja is somewhat inheriting your storytelling.
Storytelling.
Yeah, because Deja's, I'm like, whoa, man, is it a lot of words you got to get out? And she just be, as she calls it, yapping.
Yeah.
She just can talk about anything under the sun. When she don't get all her words out, like if she's in the house all
Yeah.
day, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
you just want to
Yeah,
talk.
It's something about ladies. They have to, so many words they got to get out. And,
So many
it's
a day.
a true fact. Yeah, it's a fact.
No,
Absolutely.
I feel like it is.
It is.
Yeah.
I experience it every day, which is a good thing
Are you saying you experience it with me or with just in general?
in general. Just,
Yes.
Yeah.
You have a wife and daughters and granddaughters, so you
Yes.
will get
It's
all the yapping.
A lot of girls, a lot of ladies, yeah. A lot of personalities. They're all good. They're
Okay,
all different.
we were
They're all
not
good.
we were not going to talk about that. He's probably talking about my perimenopause personality.
Oh, no. That's
but
not
it's
what I'm
fine.
talking about.
Okay,
So, okay, where we going?
you asking me something? What's
Oh, I'm asking. I just asked you. I don't
oh
ask you
okay?
another.
So it's me.
Okay,
What's
what-
one memory of us that always makes you smile?
the one memory, as several, but
Several, tell
the
us.
one memory is that when Dari was probably in like the 5th or 6th grade, she came to live with me in Charlestown, an apartment called a place called Tuscaloosa Hills, and that road was like just hilly and curvy, and had some humps in it. Just a beautiful road for a BMW to ride on. If you've been in the BMW, the way they hug the curves and everything. So I had a BMW, and I would take her out over them, and we were going around the curves and everything, and just the way it moves and handles on the road, it's more of a driver's vehicle. And so then I had gotten another car, and we're still driving on that road, and I'm kind of using the same speed, and here she is at I'm in 5th grade, so she's 10, 11 years old, and she says, "Oh, slow down, Dad. This ain't the BMW." And I think about that. I was like, how did she recognize the difference at her age? But that was always
Listen,
funny. That was
he's
funny.
the thing is, y'all. He started me out early with like luxury, like nice things, and so I just, I like nice things. I
Yeah.
knew the car that he was driving. I don't know what, but you've
I don't
always
know-
had nice cars.
Yeah, I
though.
don't know what it was I was driving then, but yeah, it
I feel
wasn't
like
the BMW.
was it a Camry? Was it a
I had the
Toyota?
Camry before the BMW, I think. No, I don't know. I had the Camry afterwards. Yeah.
And so Toyota Camrys are
Yeah.
still great cars.
Yeah.
But just that BMW,
Yeah, it was a new Camry, brand new Camry, but
Yeah.
it didn't handle like the BMW.
it didn't.
Yeah.
It sure enough didn't. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, Deja has a BMW, and when I drive that thing, and Derek could say it too, it's so fun.
It's fun. It's
Yeah.
a driver's car. You enjoy driving.
It's so
it.
fun.
Yeah.
And we were thinking about getting a new car, and we went to test drive the BMW, the hybrid. Ooh, man. Electric, that's what it was. Oh, y'all hear Derek in the background? It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie.
I was
Yeah.
wondering where that voice came from.
Intruder.
He's in the podcast.
He's in the podcast. Yeah. So we test drove an electric car, and I test drove it. And when I did, it probably went to 0 to 60 in like, I don't know. It was like seconds. That thing was fun. I don't need to go that fast though, because I do have a history of speeding and getting speeding tickets, and we don't want to do that anymore.
So I have another question.
Tell us.
So what did I do as a dad in the earlier years that you didn't really appreciate back then, but you're grateful for now? I think I might know the answer to that. If not, I have an answer.
I don't know. What did you do early
What did I
on
do
that I
back
didn't?
then that you didn't like, that
Yeah.
you didn't appreciate, But now you look back, you says, I'm glad he did. And I think I've heard you say this before.
Well, I think there's so many things.
It was a one main thing that this we had this one thing. It wasn't like we ever got angry with each other, but we kind of
Tell me what
I
you
made
think.
a statement and gave her an ultimatum, and she decided to. She made her own decision. You remember that?
Are you talking about when I lived with you
Yeah,
and I was pregnant?
yeah. I thought that was the one thing
That was,
that had to be traumatic.
yes,
Yeah.
it was very traumatic, but also I'm so grateful. So I was pregnant at 19. I had my son Dwayne in October. I had turned 19 in May, so I graduated, was pregnant, and then, yeah, I walked across the stage pregnant. And I remember I lived with Dad, and he was like, "You, you got 2 weeks to like find a job or move out." And I was just like, or whatever. What did you say?
I had just gotten married, and her and my wife didn't get along.
So it wasn't when I was pregnant.
It's when you was pregnant, and
Okay,
so they were just kind of
button
talking
heads.
around. Dad, tell her this, and Lonnie, tell her that, and they were talking around, and I was like, oh my goodness, why can't these two people communicate and get
Yeah,
along? They weren't getting along. I said, and I was a new Christian, and I knew enough then. I mean, I'm just probably a Christian for a few months. I knew
yeah.
enough then. It says the wife comes first, and then the children. It's the father, the son, the husband, the wife, and the children. I
Mm-hmm.
knew that's God's order, and I didn't know much, but I kind of, having the Holy Spirit at the beginning, kind of told me that that's the truth, and so I said, well, if you can't respect her, she's the woman of the house. If you can't respect her, then you can move out, and that was tough, and was really tough because I was expecting her to say, okay, well, I'll respect her, but she decided that she was a grown woman, that she would move out. And the amazing thing about that, I know the question was to her, but when I talk about it, the amazing thing to me is that we never we never discussed it, and we never had any kind of tensions towards each other. It just,
Until
you know,
now,
she
I'm just
she's
waiting.
so she's pregnant with Dwayne,
Mm-hmm.
and she calls we're still having a relationship and everything, and when she was ready to go to have him, she wanted me in the room, so I got to see my grandson being born.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would seem awkward, but it wasn't so natural. It wasn't awkward, and our relationship has been the best,
Yeah,
the best.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, when I go to therapy, I was talking to my therapist several times, and I'll tell her like there's hard things, like I can't believe I have to go through this, or this is so hard, and she'll remind me that I had a child when I was 18. I mean, when I was 19, excuse me, and that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I've conquered it. Like, I have been a mom for almost 27 years, and like my life has not skipped a beat.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, even though it was hard or it was like difficult at that time, it was the best thing for me. It really helped me to become independent, and I just feel like everything in life is figure outable. You can figure some things out. Like, I'm 45 now, and at 19, I didn't have access to, I couldn't ask Siri, I couldn't ask Alexa. There was no GPS to get around. Like, remember, if you needed directions, you had to print it out on MapQuest.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you needed a map.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really couldn't. I
Just
didn't
figured
have
it
the
out.
World Wide Web. It was figure outable. I
Yeah.
figured it out and made a ton of mistakes.
And this is what God does for us. He's already had. We've already been. My belief in the sovereignty of God is that we've already been chosen. So He's going to take you and cover you and keep you until the day saves you, and either further than that, longer than that, or you don't know what the outcome's going to be, but you know that you were chosen to be the bride of Christ. And so all this just played in God's plan, for you to become a Christian, to get saved, and to be the strong women that you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So God had you. He has us when we don't even realize it.
Yeah.
That's the part. That's the part we have to understand, that we are where we are today. It's because God has kept us.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you think back on, like, I think back on my testimony and my journey, like, I had to go through everything that I went through just to get here today. And so not only did I go through it, you went through it with me,
Yeah.
right? Like, you were
Every day.
Yeah, you were
the whole time. Yeah.
I mean, like, we were locking arms through all of it. And that's something that I really pray for Derek and Deja to have that relationship, in which they do. And that was the thing about having a child young. I was very intentional. I didn't realize it, that I was very intentional about how I wanted like my children to grow up.
To raise them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not saying anything was wrong with the way that my parents parented me, but I wanted to do things slightly differently, right? Like, I don't think there's a right or wrong way. I just think there's different ways with some things.
Yeah.
Some things could be wrong, but I think, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. That was a thing that always sticks out. And I tell that story I tell that story. I've told it many times about that. And I look back. Did I make the right decision? But it's you can't go back.
Yeah.
But I just think about that sometimes. But it's just incredible to me that she's never disrespected me, ever. I don't
Never.
think so.
I don't.
We've never had any tensions, any raising voice or art, none of that. It's just been, I'm your dad, you're my daughter, and we just love each other to the fullest.
We do. I think we do respectfully disagree on some things.
Oh yeah,
And
we disagree. We disagree about things and that we just don't talk about.
Yeah.
So we don't talk about them.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm right and they're wrong, but we don't have to.
Whatever.
I agree with
whatever.
But no, basically we agree.
We do.
We definitely agree in the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. All right, who's up? Me or you?
You. I've answered
Me?
like 3 or 4
You
questions.
did, and I'm answering them. I feel like I'm in the hot seat, and this is
I answered that
my
one.
podcast. Like, you're in the hot seat. You're the special
I a
guest.
guest?
Yes.
I'm taking over this podcast.
Okay.
It's gonna be Lonnie's cutting up with the Crawfords.
Lonnie's legends. Lonnie's.
She met my friend today.
Yes.
Legend. A guy called Legend. We won't call his name, but yeah. He says to her, yeah, he calls me Legend. No, you told me to call you Legend. I call you Legend because you want me to call you Legend.
That's what you
Hopefully
say.
he don't see this podcast, but yeah, you are a legend. VC, you are the legend.
Listen, I'm sending it to you. You will get a copy of this episode.
And he'll probably get a kick out of it too.
Yes.
He's in the process of writing a book.
Yes, and make him continue to call you Legend. Anyway, I digress. We got sidetracked.
Yeah. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, it was something that happened today while we were together.
It did. Wow. It did. How do you... It's 2 questions, but I'll ask one first. What's one thing you learned about God through being my dad?
One thing is that God has kept us in the right relationship. Mm-hmm. I think, well, no, there's no doubt. If I was the same person that I was back before I got saved, I'm sure we would have a lot of things that went wrong if I continued on that path.
Yeah.
But he saved me at the right time. He saved me at the right time. And so Give me the question again.
What's one thing you learned about God
Yeah,
through being my dad?
I learned that God has blessed our relationship.
Yeah.
Basically, His hand. It's just unbelievable to me the relationship that I have with my daughter, and how well we get along, and how important all of my children are. But we have a relationship. She's the oldest, and she probably talks to me more, far more than any of my other children, and we just have a great relationship.
We do.
And I believe that's because God has this is God's way. This is how our relationship is supposed to be. You know, a father and a daughter. Father build up their daughters and encourage their daughters, and the daughters just love and respect their dads.
Yeah.
You know, dads don't ask for much. We just want to
Oh,
be
he
respected.
asked for a lot, y'all. He's lying.
We just want to be respected and reciprocate the love that we have for our children.
Let me tell y'all what he asked for. He asked for hats. He asked for WVU hats, WVU shirts. We get him.
I got the hats.
You did. We get him shoes.
Didn't get the
He
shirts,
asked
though.
for a lot.
I suggest for my birthday, give me a little cheap hat.
And we get it. We
Yeah,
get
they
exactly.
do. They give me tennis shoes.
I'm like, let me hop on Amazon. Can
They
I get
hadn't bought me
it?
any Tacoma boots yet, but we're working on that. Me and Deja talked about that today.
Oh,
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah.
remember on season 2, episode 1, where we told you that Derek is down 2 jobs, but he has 2 other jobs and he's making half of what he wants. This man wants some Tacoma. Tacomas are expensive.
No, I told Deja, I said, what y'all do is all my children and my grandchildren all put it in. You ain't got to put up but $8 a piece. As many of it.
No, because you
But I
want
was
some
just
like
kidding,
crocodile or alligator, like $900 boots.
Just kidding.
Listen, we'll get you them boots.
No, I was just kidding. I'd get my own boots.
I know you
We're
will.
not materialistic.
We love them Tacovas boots though.
Yeah.
You gonna get me a pair?
Didn't I already get you a pair?
No. No.
I missed that one.
My birthday's coming up.
It is, isn't it?
You got 2?
2 daughters.
No, 3.
I have 3 daughters' birthdays in May. My youngest daughter, Arissa, her birthday's Friday. And then Dari and Tiana's birthday
Yeah.
are on the 17th. So I got 3 birthdays.
And you got Mother's Day.
Well, I don't have a mother, but I treat my wife
Yeah.
to some Mother Day stuff. 'cause
You do
she's
have a
mother.
mom.
Yeah.
She's passed away.
Well, she's in heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you do have a mom.
Yeah, you think about that. It's like, okay, mom's 103
Oh, wow.
in heaven. But she looks like whatever age we're going to, whatever age body we'll spend eternity in,
Yeah,
she's in that
yeah.
body. But she's 103 in time years.
I wonder if when I get to heaven, if she'll know that it's me.
It was a good
We're going totally off script right
It
here.
was a good it was a good YouTube video I watched that gave all the Bible references and all the verses that talks about those type of questions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it says we will, and it had examples and things that are said, written, that we will know each other. You know, we won't have. I mean, I guess we'll love each other even more because we'll be out of no sin barrier.
Yeah.
But yeah, they say we'll know and recognize each other.
Oh, man, I can't wait to see
it's
her.
like see Jesus and then see your mama.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be good. Yeah, I would hope that my grandchildren love me like my mother's grandchildren loved her.
Oh, yeah. Grandma.
All her grandchildren loved her so much.
Man, we could have a whole nother episode just on grandma. Yeah. Like, that was, yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. Question. How do you pray for me now as an adult?
I pray for you. I pray
all day, every day.
I pray for you. I pray for your health. I pray for you individually, and then I incorporate your family and your marriage. I pray for your marriage a lot. It's kind of I pray for Dwayne and Deja. That they walk in obedience to the Lord. And like I said, I pray for your marriage. I pray. I pray with your a lot of times your weight struggles. I pray with that. I pray about that. And I know how that's important to you and how much that's impacted your life and thoughts. And So those things, I pray that you grow spiritually, and that God continue to bless your marriage, that you continue to um, submit to your husband, and your husband love you as Christ loved the church, and those spiritual prayers. I ain't
Yeah.
praying that God give her a car or nothing like that, but the spiritual things
We are
that
down one
we
card, though.
are,
I'm just saying.
yeah, that we are,
Yeah.
you know, and God said He'll supply all of our needs. So if she needs a
And
car,
he
she'll get
has.
one. Yeah.
Yep. He has truly
So
supplied.
I pray that type more of a spiritual prayer.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah.
I appreciate
According to
that.
God's will, that's what He wants us to pray about, the
Mm-hmm.
spiritual things.
Yeah.
So
And I think I've felt like extremely comfortable just coming to you with like the desires of my heart and like our needs or whatever, and just saying like, if I'm going through something like that, I need you pray about this or whatever, or pray for this. Yeah, and
I pray right away. Yeah,
you've been really good about
yeah,
that. I appreciate that.
yeah. You're in my. I'm not just saying it. You're in my prayers
Oh, I
on a regular
listen.
basis. Yeah. And so that was the thing with my getting my room back. In my room, I got. This is a good thing to help people with it. Somebody showed me. I take a sheet of computer paper
Uh-huh.
and like fold it in small folds like 4 times.
Uh-huh.
And then you can write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Get your 7 days on it.
Uh-huh.
And you put what you want to pray. But if you're going to pray salvation prayer on Monday, you're going to pray healing prayers on Tuesday, pray for your home group on Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of organize it like that. So when I was in a screened-in porch, when the weather's nice, that's what I did regularly. And then once it got cold, and I get inside, and you're out of rhythm. You're not in your space where
Yeah.
you spend time with God, and it's like, I got to get this project done.
Yeah.
And so then I couldn't find my sheet. I just found my sheet the other day, and I put that beside my Bible so I can looking forward to getting back to that routine and that prayer list. And I got the salvation of hundreds that I try to pray for. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I love that. It's really about spiritual discipline. Like Derek says all the time, if you're married, and if you weren't talking to your wife, what type of marriage would you have? And that's the thing about Jesus, is we want a relationship with him, and we have to invest in that
You
relationship.
got to invest. You have to.
Yeah.
Or there's no relationship.
Yeah.
It's one-sided.
Exactly.
And
it's not going to work.
Yeah. He is who he is, and you're the one that's going to suffer.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't suffer. He's everything that he could possibly ever be. So.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's right. Let me see. Yeah, I think you're up.
Okay, let's see what another question I could ask. What's one of the things you think I influenced your leadership or work ethic with? Things that I might influence your
Man.
your
Yeah.
leadership or work
Leadership,
ethics.
work ethic, like you gonna hustle in a good way. When I say hustle in a good way, like this man doesn't stop moving. Okay. He comes here today and drops off. He drives 3.5 hours, and then his truck is full of furniture, patio furniture that he's given us, and he's unloading it right away, like by himself. Like he is always on the move. And I feel like I inherited that. Like that work ethic, the work ethic when it comes to your house, and everything is neat and organized. It is. But I feel like we grew up.
Yeah, we're the same way.
Yeah,
Your mom's like that too.
No, me and mom were talking about this, I think like last week or something. I grew up like everything was neat and organized. Like our house was clean, and I do that.
Yeah.
All the time. And I didn't realize I got that from you for sure.
Yeah.
Both my parents. I didn't realize that not everybody lives like this.
Oh no. Oh no.
I remember you were telling stories about when you worked for the phone company and you would go in people's houses.
Nice houses on the outside. You say, "Oh, this is a beautiful home," and you get inside. I'm telling you, I went in one house because I did telephone and computer and internet repair.
Yeah,
And I went in one house and they actually had a pig on the
I remember
couch.
you saying that.
Yeah, pig on the couch, living in the house. I was like, oh my goodness. So yeah, not everybody's clean
Yeah.
and neat, and it's a good thing because I was listening to this Navy admiral or whatever his position was in the Navy, and he was
Uh-huh.
talking about he had did a speech at a graduation,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the things he was telling the people at the graduation was what's a commencement speech.
Yeah.
He was telling the people that here's some good habits, and one of his habits was you get up, you make your bed, you always keep your immediate space in order,
Mm-hmm.
and that helps you organize your life.
Mm-hmm.
So you find that if you do that, if you are a neat person, you get up and you do these first things. Okay, well, I've accomplished making my bed. I straighten this up. I make sure that the sink's clean. Those type of things, whatever, and you can organize your life. But when you get up, the bed, I'm gonna just get back in it tonight anyway, and you don't organize, you don't pick up stuff, and next thing you know, you're late. I went into a house one day, and this is a quick example.
Is this going to be
Is
a?
one of my,
Is this going to be?
and this story. So I'm at
Is this
this.
going to be a long?
So I'm at this young guy's house.
Uh-huh.
He has a phone problem, and I think he might have requested to come early because he had classes or something. I get into the house,
Uh-huh.
and I'm looking for the problem. So I go in his bedroom. He had a bad wire, a bad jack or something. His room is a disaster. This is a total stranger, right? And he's going to Shepherd University. And I said, young man,
You
I
got to
said,
do better.
you got to. I said, this is a mess. I said, what do you do if you're late? You're running late. And
You
you're
don't know where
running through.
anything
You don't know
is.
what's clean, what's dirty, your clothes. If you take care of your stuff and you organize, say you're going to your car and you spill something on your pants. You can run back in, grab another pair of pants. You know where they are. They're clean. And change your pants, and you can still make it on time, or
Yeah.
just be just a little late.
Yeah.
But if you're not, you'll find yourself scrambling, always trying to catch up. So it's good to be organized. It
That's.
really helps you. It helps you. And you see where it helps you.
Oh man, it helps
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
tremendously because when my house is clean,
You can relax.
man, it's something. And I'm the person that I go on vacation, and when I come back, you can't just bring the suitcases in.
Yeah.
I have to unpack them and put everything away.
Yeah.
And to the point where Derek and the kids know that she's like, Mom's going to do this. She's just go ahead and help her because she's not going to shut up.
And I married a woman like that.
You did?
Oh, Teresa's like that. Yeah, she's like that. She's like her and Dari like.
I feel like this is the only way to be.
Yeah.
So if you're
and-
not
yeah,
like
she-
this,
yeah, she's like that. She's neat.
do better if you're not. Okay.
Yeah. If you see my wife's closet and then see my closet, I just got a small closet. I'm telling Dari now. I said I've got to redo my closet.
You
But her
did
closet,
say
her
that.
closet is so neat. I was like, how you get everything in there so neat?
Oh man, I can when it's clean, I just can focus. I
Yeah.
can think.
Yeah, you don't.
I
You don't have it
can-
over you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a weight.
it's like I clean something and then I go out the door and then I peek in at what I cleaned and I'm just like, man, that looks good. Those lines in the carpets look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, something might be wrong with me,
Yeah,
but
yeah, she's got a little bit. Yeah, so we're leaving today, and I have all your shoes are lined up in the garage. Y'all people that come over here, y'all know it. So I had some black flip flops, and they weren't quite straight.
they were not.
The left one was straight against the wall, but the right one was crooked a little bit. And she goes and straightens it up, and I looked at it, and I just went and kicked it over. Like they don't have to be straight.
You didn't just kick it like they were both going in different directions. And what that did to my insides.
She's got a problem.
I do.
She's got a problem.
But we're not covering that in this episode.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the good things.
We can talk about the bad too. It's really fine.
It's good, great, bad, and ugly.
Yeah.
No, but she's good. She's a very good housekeeper. My wife and I, we talk about her and how
Y'all
she
talk
keeps-
about me? Because I keep my house clean.
Yeah, keep her house clean and how she is such a great host. She cooks for her family. She just does.
I have
She's like a
that's
superwoman.
my children and my husband would probably beg to differ now because I feel like I haven't cooked for them in a while. But overall, they're healthy.
They're healthy. Yeah, they
They're
got to do they
healthy,
got to
so
do
it's
something. You
fine.
got to get a break sometime. They got to pick up slack. It ain't gonna hurt them.
It will not hurt them
No.
at all. Not one thing. All right, you still asking me questions or am I
You
asking?
can ask me one or two.
Hey, what's something you admire about who I've become as an adult?
Well, that's a lot. Dari is a so
I love where
the
you're going
thing
with
with
this.
the thing with Dari is that she didn't have confidence.
I
She
didn't.
struggled with confidence for a while. Sometimes we think I didn't go to college, so I guess sometimes we think if we don't go to college we're not smart, but
Yeah.
that's not true at all. You can go to college and pass and not be smart, and you cannot go to college and be very smart also. But she just didn't have confidence that she could do things,
Yeah.
and she's that was like a hurdle she couldn't get over. But then she got over it and found out that she's very good in a lot of things, and so you know I'm impressed with that.
That's
I'm
good.
impressed with that. So she can do what she's doing, and if that ends, then she could pick up something else because she can learn. She can learn anything. Give her time, and she can learn it. So she's good at that.
Thank you, Dad.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I see that in you.
Yeah. Side note, this episode is sponsored by Four Dimensional Consulting LLC, where we bring structure to your business. So, holler at us.
That's an infomercial.
It is. It's a paid advertisement. We're getting paid, y'all. It's still on me or you?
Still on you. That's another one.
I got all these questions for you. Okay. This is a good one. How old were you when you had me?
21 or 22.
Okay.
I think 22.
That wasn't a part of the question, but it was like a sub question.
I always got to count it back. I think it was 22.
22? Okay. So then I'm going to change the age to this question to 22.
What'd you have?
21.
Well,
Because I thought you were like 21.
I was like 21. 22 is
Okay.
like 21.
Okay.
So I was
Exactly.
thinking about, when I started my job. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
right around the same time.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to sit and figure that out.
We
sure.
will. All right. What would 21-year-olds say about the dad you turned out to be?
Yeah, because I wasn't a good dad early on. I was still dealing with a lot of my own personal stuff. Of course, I wasn't saved, and I was kind of there but not there.
Mm-hmm.
During some of the early years. But yeah, I would never thought I would be in the position that I'm in now. I love being a dad.
Yeah.
So
You're pretty good at it.
yeah, I try. I do. I try some of the things I do. I try to be a good dad. Try to mix love and hard discipline together.
Mm-hmm.
Try to have a balance. And all my four children are different, so I have to try to do it in different ways for each one.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
I try to love them in their own, in my own way, according to who they are, at what stage they're in now.
So what would you say to yourself? What would you say about the dad that you are now?
I'd say I'm impressed.
It's a good one.
You like that one?
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
only because it's because of God.
Yeah.
It's not me. God turned my life around and showed me who I'm supposed to be
Yeah.
in Christ and the type of person I'm supposed to be. So that's what I've been trying and striving for. I still make mistakes, but it's God. It's like Paul says, it's Christ in me.
Yep. Yep.
Any good that comes out of me is Christ in me. Definitely not any of me.
Yep.
It says in the flesh dwells no good thing. No good thing dwells in the flesh. So everything is in the spirit of Christ.
It just amazes me that you be like just quoting scripture. I struggle to memorize and I have to be more intentional about it.
You can do it. You just don't prioritize it. If you prioritize it, it's very easy. And like I said, you can take one day and you can memorize a verse in one day, and that's 365 verses a year.
I feel like
One day.
when you worked for the phone company, you used to have the index cards of the verses.
That's all. So
Yeah.
so in my classes, and I know many of you that took classes, Bible classes, or whatever seminary school that you had.
Yeah.
Every study that you had so many Bible verses. You might have 10, 15 Bible verses that go with that one.
And you had to
study.
memorize all
You
that?
had to memorize all those. So you'd have different tests, and you had to write out the memory verses on your test. And so you had to memorize it. Like I said, you just put them on index cards, put them in your pocket. You know, you go in the bathroom. You know, we spend time in the bathroom. You go in there,
Look at the card.
3 or 4 words at a time, and then
Yeah.
you know the first 4 words, and then you hook the next 4 words up, and next thing you know, you got a 25-word scripture verse.
That you know.
It's not, and that's where David says you hide it in your heart that you might not sin against God, because you don't have time. I mean, when things are coming at you, you have to. It has to be in you.
Yeah.
If you want to respond spiritually.
That's good. Yeah.
You know, but if it's not in you, if you can't think that it says don't let any corrupt word come out of your mouth, but that which is edifying, that it might encourage the believer. I might have missed on towards the end, but when you know that could stop you from using foul language. That could stop you from raising your voice or doing anything that would shame Christ. So you have this. No, I shouldn't cuss because don't let any corrupt word come out of my mouth. But that which edifies the hearer. So if I'm saying negative things, it's not edifying the hearer. It's doing the opposite.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's those things that we have to hide in our hearts because that helps us.
That's good.
I'm also teaching my daughter while we're doing this podcast.
I'm a lifelong
I
learner
throw some nuggets in on her to her.
because he's my elder and he's always feeding me. Listen, I'll be teaching you some stuff though.
Yeah.
It's mutual.
I'm trying to think.
You trying to think what? Oh, don't do that. Don't do that to me.
I'm sure there's many things.
Don't do that.
She's taught me some things about parenting. I've learned some things about her.
Oh,
You know.
listen. I feel like I'm
I
winging
mean,
it.
one of the
What?
the funniest things I heard was Deja went to say something. She says, "I'm not gonna say that because she'll smack me."
Oh, yeah. We were at
Where was that?
Chevy's.
Yeah.
And you had told her, y'all were like over in the kitchen or she was in the kitchen or something. And you're like, Deja, do this. And you're like, Deja said, I ain't doing that. I'm scared of her.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and that's
right.
that's a reverence fear.
That's-
Her mom's not gonna kill her, but it's that she recognized that I don't disrespect my mom.
It was.
It's just you don't do it.
She does know that. She can get kind of out of hand, out of pocket with her mouth, though.
She's gonna get like that.
She
At
does.
her age, she's gonna, and you just gotta.
I remember Deja was little and she would sit at the kitchen table and she would just cry because she didn't want to eat the food. Cry and like gagging. I'm like, girl, if you don't shut up, like just stop. And Dwayne is so gracious though at times. At times. Well, a lot of times he is. He was just like, Deja, I've been with her longer than you have. Like, just eat the food. Or it was something with getting her shoes, getting her shoes on or something. And he's like, Deja, like he was trying to save her life. And Deja was just like,
I want you to be around for a while.
Yeah, Deja's like adamant that she was not going to do it. I love that girl. I love that. This is about Deja. I love that she has a voice and she uses it. And I wish that I use my voice at her age. Deja doesn't do anything she doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
And that's one of the many things that I love about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely going to say, she's going to stand up for other people, and she's going to tell you whether she wants to do it or not.
Good. Okay.
I
Same to
wish
me.
I wish I did that at 19. All right, where we at? What we talking about now?
So here's, let me ask you a question. So what is your favorite way we spend time together now that you're so-called grown? Now that you're grown, now that you're a woman at 45 years old,
45.
favorite times
I
we
look
spend
good.
together.
Okay, so I don't have a favorite like
What do you like to do when we're together?
time. I like today.
Yeah, what is it that you like to do when we're together?
I just like us to be together when it's just me and you.
Yeah,
That's what I do. I don't need the extra Crawfords to
yeah,
be with us. I just like when it's me and you.
yeah.
And he pulls up today, y'all, and he unloads the patio stuff. And then I had a meeting, and then we went to go get lunch, and he just hands me the keys, and I get to drive the whip, drive him around, and just being with him. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one thing that I enjoy. No matter, I mean, it doesn't matter what we do. I just like it when
Yeah.
it's just me and you, because I feel like both of us were in West Virginia, and you would always stop by and stuff. And then when we moved to North Carolina, we didn't get to see you, in person all
I
the
came
time.
down a lot.
You did. You
I
did.
bet.
You
See,
did.
so here's the.
You did.
So we're gonna start a new leaf in my relationship with my children.
Oh Lord,
I'm
what's it
making this.
gonna
I'm
be?
making this. This is gonna be my grand finale of visiting my children,
Wait, are you
because
serious?
because here, if some of you all
I
have,
respectfully disagree.
okay, well, we can agree to disagree. If some of you all have, so I'm 68 years old. So here's the difference between my generation and you all's generation, 45 or 50, whatever.
I don't
So
want
in
to
our
hear this.
generation, we always went to see our grandmom. And I grew up in a little small town, and so in the summertime, all of the a lot of the families had children, grown children that moved away and had families.
Yeah.
Every summer, all of the grandchildren would come and stay. And we grew up in a little town called Dogtown. It seems like a funny name, but it was a wonderful little town. So everybody's grandchildren, all the grandmothers out there, their children would bring their grandchildren for the summer. It was almost like they lived there.
Yeah.
So it's like we grew up with them, but it was like, but every summer.
Yeah.
Those grandmothers never went to Philadelphia and New York and all the places where their children were.
They didn't have cars.
They had cars, but it's the fact of as we as grandparents get older. So some of your parents should listen to this. As your parents get older, well, it's kind of like nowadays we're trying to be these super parents, and we have people in our home group our age, and they're driving to Florida, driving to Pennsylvania. And I was telling them, I said, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
The children, so some of you young couples now are like, oh, I've got 2 kids and I can't. People used to travel with 4 and 5 kids. And now, oh, I can't do it with 2 kids. No, y'all need to grow up and grab your children and take them to see your parents. So your parents don't have to be driving at 65, 70 years old. Because if something happened to them driving to come see you, you'll probably never forget it.
I wouldn't.
You'll never forget it. So y'all have to make a better effort of going to your grandparents.
So
And this is my
that's your hot take. So he's looking at the camera, so he's telling y'all, because he's not looking at me, he's not telling me.
I'm telling
y'all. So this does not apply to me and my house. It does not.
So,
this does not.
So if we could ask her, how many times have I been to North Carolina?
Was that one of your questions that you wanted to ask me?
Yeah. How many times have I come to visit you in North Carolina?
1,000.
She can't count them.
I can't.
She can't.
Because you come here often. You come here for...
So that's what I'm saying is now it's time to...
Okay, you made your point.
I made my point. And I'm sure some of you grandparents are saying, yeah, well, you know what? He's right about that.
If you are a grandparent and you feel the same way that he does, can you please comment below this video and let us know? Because I think this is just his thoughts. It's not everybody's. Yeah, just let me know.
Yeah. And tell her to contact me for all the positive reactions we get out of that. Grandparents are like, yeah, that's right. I'm tired of driving to see
I
them.
can see where that's.
We're trying to be super grandparents. No, that's
You
not it. We've
should.
been parents and grandparents. It's time to reciprocate.
Yeah, but you're a pop-pop though.
Reciprocate.
You're a pop-pop.
I
Are
am a
your
pop-pop.
grandkids are pop-pop's grandkids here? Oh,
No, they left the room. They left.
they left.
So
All right, last question.
last.
Oh, you want to talk forever?
No, this is good. This is good.
Last question. What's one thing you would thank me for if this was our last conversation we ever had?
For being such a wonderful daughter. The best. She's been a wonderful daughter for 45 years.
Long
I've
time.
enjoyed her, and we've had a great relationship.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been through things, and she's been through things, but we've stayed together and stayed true to each other. Yeah, she's been a wonderful daughter. Couldn't ask for a better daughter.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that because we're right here, but
That's the only reason.
yeah,
I'll Zelle you some money.
That's what the plan was. That's what I texted you earlier. I'm gonna say this real nice thing about you, and then you text me like $20. but she's been a good daughter to me,
Yeah.
you know, and I appreciate it, and I respect her for it, and I truly believe that children obey your parents and things will go well.
Yeah.
And in contrast to that is if you don't obey your parents, things won't go very well.
Yeah.
I told my granddaughter that, and during her graduation, I said that's where her blessings come from because she's obeyed her parents. And if she starts getting to the point where she's getting smart mouth and doesn't do that, things won't go well for her. God's word is true.
They just love both of them.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, both of our.
When if you were doing it and then you stop doing it, then things will change.
Yeah.
But if you follow that principle, respect your parents as long as they live.
Yeah.
It's not just when you're in the household with them. You can be out married and have your own family and everything, but there is a respect and honor that you give to your parents.
Yeah.
I honored my mom, and I believe God has blessed me through it.
Yeah. I think I did. Not I think. I know that I witnessed that growing up. Your relationship with grandma.
Oh, it was just like,
yeah. And
couldn't give her enough.
I believe that my children see the way that I love you. And yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing. And I talk about this too. I talk about how my grandchildren love me and respect me because she taught them.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what you have to do. You have to teach your children to love. If you want them to have a good relationship, you have to model that.
Yeah,
If you model it, because they're looking for people to model things. And I think they did a podcast on discipling.
Mm-hmm.
And so something my former pastor had told me, it says, you cannot not influence.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to influence. Every day we're influencing either in a positive way or a negative way.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. You don't have to always be positive, but if you're consistently showing them that you love your granddaddy.
Yeah.
You know, you respect your granddaddy.
Yeah.
You hear what your pop-up said?
Yeah.
You know, and just keep them in line and teach them how to love.
Yeah.
You know, and she's done a wonderful job with that. And
Thank you.
I think that's...
I think it does make a difference.
Absolutely makes a difference.
Yeah. Because, I mean, they just see.
Yeah. And
not only do they hear me, but they see our relationship.
Yeah.
They see that, I mean...
And that's the same thing in your marriage. It's the same thing. It's the same principle. if you're bad mouthing your husband or your husband's bad mouthing you, and the children are picking that up, they're going to do that.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
going to do that. So you have to really be careful with the things you say to one another, and how you respond with your looks and everything, because they picking it up.
Yeah.
You treat your husband like he's a dum-dum, like you see on TV. The husband's always the dummy in the family. Then that's how the children's going to act. Oh, Dad, you don't know nothing. Or let's
Yeah.
ask Mom, Dad, no, Dad. And they'll start treating him like he's a dummy.
Yeah.
And then that's not respect. And then the relationship's really messed up.
I agree. I agree. Well, my children love you.
I know they do. I love them too.
They do.
Yeah.
They love Pop Pop.
Yeah.
They better.
So this has been a very interesting.
Very
I enjoyed
interesting.
it. Yeah.
So, is this your first podcast ever?
First and last.
Well, that escalated really quickly.
Now we'll do another one in 10 years. But yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed it. I was kind of skeptical at first about,
Yeah.
don't want to be out there. It's, Christian men have to really guard their reputations and what they say, because people see things and they judge you for this or for that.
Yeah.
So I try to keep up.
I agree with that. And also, I think it's good that we talk about our relationship, because I feel like it's something special and different that a lot of women my age don't have a relationship with their dad, or, maybe they do, or maybe it's kind of complicated
Rocky, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think that we really experience that. Like we
It's been a blessing. It's just truly been a blessing. And like I said, I know there's other relationships, father and daughters, father and sons, that just aren't great. But
yeah.
I think if you're a believer in Christ and you submit under the authority of His Word, that you can be all that God's Word said you can be.
And yes,
you can transform you, because the power of God is to transform a life from one thing. It's like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. You can transform, and God's Word can transform you.
That's right.
He says, Philippians 2:5, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. So we can have the mind of Christ, the mind of God, and in our relationships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I believe that you have to be, as father and daughter, we have to continue to be intentional about our relationship. Like, there's some times where I call him all the time, y'all. He never calls me. That's a lie. He always calls me.
See, she says that's a lie. Check that out.
It's a lie. He always calls me. But sometimes we talk. I mean, we could talk 3 times a day. Yeah.
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 And I've had times where I said, man, maybe I need to back off and let them grow in their marriage. But
we growing in our marriage, and still,
Derek,
you my
Derek
dad
doesn't mind, and
yeah.
So I don't interfere with anything. We just talk. Yeah.
I mean, like, the reality is that there's going to come a time that we won't be able to call each other.
Yeah. There's going to be a time.
Yeah. And
so we cherish the moments.
Yeah, like, we gotta talk now.
Yeah.
Even if it's, it's a 2-hour conversation. And there's something about Black people, though, in the sense of Black people can have a 2-hour conversation and they say, well, I ain't really want anything.
Yeah.
It's like, we just talked all this time about nothing and everything. Yeah. And I don't know if that necessarily just applies to Black people. Yeah. I think it's just so. People in general. You have you call somebody and you like, hey, what are you doing? And you just talk for a long time. And next thing you know, hour, 2 hours pass and you're like, I ain't want nothing. I just called to see what you were doing.
Yeah. I think it applies to everybody. Yeah.
You want to talk about anything else? You good? Oh Lord, y'all, he has the mic. Hold on.
No, I'm good. I did think of something, but
what you think of? What?
On the next episode.
Oh, so remember a couple minutes ago he said this was his first and last, and now he's talking about another episode.
If it helps her viewer,
oh, my viewers.
Yeah, if it helps her then I'll help her.
Oh, so you're just doing you're just doing this to help me?
Yeah.
I'll send you
Miss Teresa,
I'll send you some
Teresa the
Zelle
other night said, you
money.
got to hit like. So that's how they get the.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
we need subscribers. We need everyone to like, share, subscribe to our channel, and also we're on YouTube at Cutting Up with the Crawfords. So, be sure to follow us and listen. If you enjoyed this episode, if you are a father, if you are a daughter, a father figure to a daughter, whoever, whatever, comment. I hope that you were blessed by this conversation. I hope that you feel encouraged. And also, I hope that you feel the love between us. Because Pop Pop, has brought me so much joy all throughout my life. And I'm grateful to do this episode with you. And I was thinking, if this were our last conversation, what am I thankful for? I'm thankful for you just showing up for me unconditionally and just holding space for me to evolve and grow and change as a daughter, as a mom, as a friend, as a sister, all the things. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, like you've been along the ride for every version of me. And I'm grateful for that.
You're welcome.
I love you,
My
Pop Pop.
pleasure. I love you too.
All right, y'all. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, all the things. I love y'all. Bye.